Hey guys, Brandon here. Today I am on my way down to downtown to a Marriott hotel where Tesla is hosting an informational meeting for Tesla owners and guests in Michigan to give an update from their lobbyist in the state capital of Michigan, which is Lansing. We are not able to have a service center or sales here in the state because of laws outlawing the sale or repair facilities of vehicles outside of independent dealership, which Tesla does not have. There's been some legislative efforts which have been thwarted by automotive lobby efforts, and currently Tesla is suing the state of Michigan. I don't remember what the exact charge is for, I don't know, discrimination or unconstitutionality or something like that. So anyway, this is the second of these efforts that they've organized, or these events, I should say, that they've organized in Michigan. The first one was up north. I couldn't make it to the last one, so I'm glad that I was around for this one. You might be noticed that I'm not driving the Tesla now. That's because the Tesla is at home charging because later tonight somebody from Turo is picking it up to rent it for a trip that he's going on this weekend. Now I'm charging the battery up. Anyway, so that's why I'm going to a Tesla event in my SUV. But yeah, should be fun. Parking, here's the Model X. But I know why that's there. Oh, there's 3 Teslas right there. I seem to be in the right place. Clever. Falcon 9. P85. 85. So the event invitation said to look for or actually check in at the Airstream. So I guess they've got their Airstream mobile unit or whatever. So we'll look for it. There it is. X-wings and all. So I have not seen a 3-row mid-row on the Model X before. Oh, it does not have the super stylish seats. I was wondering how much storage is underneath these. So these are not movable, but I believe they do fold flat. So yeah, this is the middle seat. My hair is a little bit poofy, and I've got about a finger's worth of room in the head here. But the seat is actually kind of reclined, so you can actually stick your head back a little bit. It's actually not as bad as I thought. I'm 6 feet even, so I don't know what that is in centimeters, but yeah, it's actually pretty comfortable seats. Got my wristband. Of course, they have a P100D on display right here. Very cool. What kind of roof does it have? Panoramic. I mean, all glass roof, not panoramic. I have not been in one of these before. It's heavily tinted, which I guess you would expect. But yeah, there's a lot more headroom for people like me. I don't know how well you can see, but as opposed to the side here. So yeah, very cool.
We want to talk about some of the efforts that we have ongoing to replicate that here in Michigan, and also introduce some folks that are local that are very key to the issue, and they'll talk about ways in which you can help. What we've been spending the first half of this year doing is walking legislators through this, getting them into the cars, and bringing them up to speed. I mean, literally, you had folks from the auto dealers that would get right in his face and scream. I mean, spit all over his face. I mean, it was intense. And that's how serious these guys are about this.
All right, I am back from that event. I don't know if you call it an educational event or what, something like that. I'd never been to something like that before. Basically what they had, so one of the Tesla representative did some open introductory remarks, told them about, or told us about some of the stuff that Tesla does in Michigan. They have many part sourcing contracts here in Michigan. Tesla a couple years ago bought a tool and die manufacturing plant, which is actually here in Grand Rapids or close to it. And that is currently making Model 3 parts. He said a lot of the metal components are coming out of here. He mentioned the hood and like, I don't know if it was was it the trunk or the rear door or something like that, which I thought they would have been doing at the Fremont factory under the presses, but maybe the presses are just doing Model S and Model X. Anyway, all that to say, Tesla does a lot of business here in Michigan, and it's the only state where they're not only not allowed to sell their vehicles directly, but they're also not allowed to have service centers because the dealerships have a authorized monopoly on those venues. So he talked about that. He also mentioned there's about 1,000 Tesla owners now in Michigan, and we're all serviced by Ranger, the Tesla Ranger. So you can imagine he goes all over the place. There might be more than one. I'm not actually sure, but I only know of one. And they also let us know that there's about 2,000 to 3,000 Model 3 reservation holders in Michigan. So it's interesting to get some geographical information on that score. So if all those orders get fulfilled within the next year, probably the number of Teslas here is going to triple. And they have been adding superchargers. I think the number of our superchargers is actually going to double. Most of them, except for the touristy areas, are not too busy. The Grand Rapids one here is almost never full. Other ones do get full because a lot of people go through that area, or it's a touristy destination. But anyway, they're expanding those, which is really cool, especially in light of lots of Model 3s coming. What else? Yeah, so they mentioned a little bit about the legislative history here. Obviously, Michigan is known as they're entrenched in the automotive businesses. GM is here, Ford is here. But anyway, and of course a very large dealership constituent as well, as with other parts in the U.S. So in 2014, there was a legislative bill that was oriented towards dealers, allowing them to do something with their price structure. It was just kind of a run-of-the-mill bill. And then at the last minute, they added this slight technical change, sort of slipped it in the back door. Apparently, a lot of legislatures weren't aware of what the implications were, even though a number of us did try to communicate with them. It was sort of signed into law reluctantly by our governor. So now there are efforts, there's a bill being sponsored, although it hasn't been presented yet, to allow Tesla as well as other manufacturers to compete in a free market and sell directly to customers. So obviously there's going to be a lot of pushback on the dealers. They mentioned that they spend about $450,000 contributing to campaign funds, the dealers associations do. And Tesla does contribute a little bit, but not very much to campaigns. So that's a significant difference. So then they introduced this guy, what was his name? Tim, I think. He's the head of a lobby organization, lobby firm here in Michigan, and Tesla is using his firm to lobby for them in the state. So he talked a little bit about the bill and how to support that kind of thing. And then they also had one of our state representatives, House of Representatives, who is on board with this kind of stuff. And he also said how to get involved, how to connect with your representatives and senators, and all that kind of stuff. And their main goal is to get this bill in the next 18 months past both houses, and they're pretty confident that a governor's signature will follow if they can do that. And that was really the point of the whole event. It was just sort of communicating the importance of it, and letting us know that small voices in large numbers can have a profound effect, and to maintain that course. So it was fun. There weren't a whole lot of people there. There was probably about 20 or 25 owners, but they did one in another part of the state, and this was a local one. So I'm sure there's a lot more owners than that, but that was how many showed up. And as you saw, they had the Model X there. They had their Airstream trailer. They had a Model S there, and and a small team of Tesla people, and nice little hors d'oeuvres and drinks area at this hotel right on the riverfront. So it was fun. I'm glad they're doing that. I'm glad they're getting involved with Michigan. Tesla has been so generous about supporting us in Michigan with the Tesla Ranger service, and as well as the superchargers. But we don't have any of the crowds because they're not allowed to sell like they are in other states. So that will change, I think. But it would be good for the company and really good for the area here in Michigan for Tesla to succeed. I think because of what their, the value that they offer to customers and communities as a whole. So maybe I'll be able to connect with one of the legislators. Apparently they do this thing called coffee houses. That's what they call it. And they just meet with whoever of their constituents shows up, and apparently not very many people do. So if a couple people for one cause, for example Tesla, show up, then that makes a huge impact on these things. Something you can do very easily on a local basis. So we'll see where this develops. Oh, and Tesla is also suing the state of Michigan, and that lawsuit is based in the court system, actually I think in Grand Rapids where I am here. So that's a very long process, so it doesn't move very quickly, but I'm very interested to see how that goes. I think they're suing based on the constitutionality of excluding certain manufacturers from selling. Hope that was interesting, and